Matt's the leader of the team, and everybody knows that.
When the ball comes your way, you make a play. You make a play.
From day one, I've been accepted to go out there and be who I am.
Mahomes doing more things that you're not supposed to be able to do.
Everything in this league is earned.
Kittle made the catch, runs over a man.
No one was going to give it to us.
That's a hell of a catch. That's a hell of a catch.
I mean, guys aren't just happy to be here. You know, guys are playing to win.
We will whip these guys out. All we got to do is do our job and punch them in the mouth every single play.
I love adversity.
We're going to go out there and just find the way to win the football game, whatever it takes.
It's going to be a dogfight.
The Super Bowl, it is a different beast, and the two teams going this year have a lot of guys who have never been before. Just 7 players on the 49ers have been to the big game in the past. Sherman and Emmanuel Sanders have been there twice, so that's how you get the 9 Super Bowl games played on the roster. Look at the Chiefs side of things, guys. Only 2 players have ever been to the Super Bowl. That's Stefan Wisniewski and Terrell Suggs. So what are they in for? Let's go players only. Willie McGinnis and Sean O'Hara.
All right, Sean, the biggest game of your life. You've done everything to get to this point. There's so many things going on with the Super Bowl. Where do you start?
Well, I mean, the toughest thing is getting over the wow factor. You know, you're in uncharted territory, and you can't believe that you're there. But I think the biggest thing is that use that extra week that is happening right now to handle all the business, all right? And tickets, there's drama. Look, people think that, it's no big deal. No, it's a big deal. You only get so many tickets. Everybody wants to come. You can't have to worry about that. You can't spend too much energy on that. And don't be afraid to say no. That's the one thing I think a lot of players really struggle with is they're trying to please everybody and fly everybody here, do this. No, it's okay. People can find their own way to get there and find their own tickets if they have to. So don't be afraid to say no.
And I think that's part of the Super Bowl, right? There's a Super Bowl and there's the actual game.
Yeah.
In my very first Super Bowl, I think I got caught up in everything that the Super Bowl is comprised of.
Yeah.
The parties that was going on, the family members, trying to go have dinners, trying to meet with everybody, trying to pretty much please everything that, all my friends and family. And I got caught up. Like, I was prepared and I worked hard and I practiced hard, but during the game and after the game was a blur. And I was fortunate enough to play in more Super Bowls than I learned. Like, you got to focus, you got to push everything out and just do all football. And then after the game, you can invite all those things. But the Super Bowl and the game is 2 different monsters.
Yeah, and I think one thing that as the game gets closer, and we use that extra bye week to prepare our bodies as well, conditioning is a factor. And it's funny because you think, hey, it's the end of the season, I'm in game shape, I'm good, you don't need to do any extra. We heard Andy Reid talk about, hey, get a little extra running in because we're playing down in Miami. Guess what? That Super Bowl game gets hot,
right.
And all of a sudden you've burnt up so much energy in pregame, and it's the longest game ever, so you got to get some extra conditioning because you never know when a scrum might break out, just like Eli did right here. Thank goodness he was doing extra conditioning, and thank goodness David Tyree did some extra conditioning right here. I think this play right here is a great example of, guess what? Sometimes you practice these plays and you try to choreograph a show or a play and a game, and you try to script everything, and what breaks loose. And sometimes somebody's just got to make a play, just like David Tyree did, just like Eli
or
did.
2, or in the Manningham game.
Or 3.
Or 3.
Yeah.
All right, well, just focus on the game. Forget about the Super Bowl, guys. Lindsay?
Niners' presence in this game, the perfect example of how quickly things can change in the NFL. Remember, just last year, they were one of the teams coaching in the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. That's reserved for the 2 last-place teams in the NFL. This year, the players are on the field already. Practices underway with the game coming up Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on Saturday. And for more on what we saw today down there, Andrew Siciliano, Daniel Jeremiah, and Charles Davis have the latest.
Hi, Total Access. Coming up a little bit later, 8 o'clock Eastern time for the Reese's Senior Bowl recap show. We'll tell you what we saw today, which included Daniel Jeremiah. What?
Keeping an eye on the quarterbacks. I thought Jordan Love from Utah State yesterday struggled, really up and down. I thought today, especially when we got into the team session, thought he really did his best work. And Justin Herbert stacked another consistent day as well. And Jalen Hurts is another one who's played well over a couple days. So good showing for the quarterbacks today.
And didn't a few extra receivers emerge for you as well? Because you were talking about Chase Claypool from Notre Dame, Michael Pittman from USC. How do you separate them? But there have been others, including Van Jefferson from Florida.
Van Jefferson's been the best route runner here through 2 days, and we really see it today.
And you know what else we'll see? Brian Kelly from Notre Dame, the head coach. I thought he did a great job breaking down his players and some play and what you need to be a pretty good football player at every level.
The Notre Dame head coach will join us. Also talk to the VP of player personnel for the Cincinnati Bengals, Duke Tobin. What are they going to do with that number one overall pick?
He came close to telling us.
This close to actually handing
He actually had a card. He actually had a card.
Jalen Hurts, Oklahoma quarterback, will join us as well. That is the Reese's Senior Bowl recap show. It's on at 8 Eastern. See you then.
Senior Bowl coming up on Saturday, the game anyway, and then it's on to Combine, which you can also watch right here on NFL Network starting February 27th with the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends. They're up first this year in prime time. All of these days will be in prime time right here on NFL Network, and it is the NFL Scouting Combine presented by Verizon. Also today, a big announcement at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Several Raiders players on the stage for it. And I'm going to let Raiders owner Mark Davis tell you what it was.
For today, January 22nd, 2020, we are now the Las Vegas Raiders. And today, Las Vegas officially becomes our nation's capital.
We had some great memories in Oakland. Wish we could have brought that city a championship, but looks like we're going to have to do it here, man, because this welcome was special, I think, for our owner. I think it was special for our team, special for the guys that were here. You know, when we went up there to stake our claim here, the reception that we got was overwhelming. It was really awesome.
This is the third time in the Raiders franchise history that they have relocated in this manner, and they had a lot of success after that move to LA. As you see, they went 7-9 in 1981. In 1982, after they moved, they went 8-1 in a strike-shortened season, and then they won the Super Bowl the year after that in 1983. So we'll see if this move ignites jumpstart in the Las Vegas Raiders as well. The news that we figured was coming sooner or later actually came sooner. Eli Manning set to announce his retirement on Friday. After the break on NFL Total Access, a story from Sean that will remind you just how clutch this guy could be.
In a 5-yard out route, 85 versus their guy. He's going to go inside and break out. He won't let him out. Watch.
I mean, that is some next level coaching, right?
Or a setup.
Or a setup.
I mean, you're setting up the ref. You're telling him what's about to happen. You kind of got tendencies on the guy he's going against. So you kind of run a certain play to set him up because you know what he's going to do in that situation.
So you're saying leading the witness right there.
Excuse me, ref. You might want to watch this play.
I mean, I think it's just unbelievable to think about all of the things that Kyle Shanahan is thinking about as the game's going on. I mean, he's already called the play. My guess is he probably called something similar to that, and he knows with that route, his tight end's getting mugged. So, you know, the player comes off and tells his coach, hey, look, what happened on that route? Well, look, I couldn't even get off. The guy's grabbing me. So he had the wherewithal to go up and say, hey, man, listen, this is what's going on. And he saw the coverage. He knew it. So, I mean, just lets you know Kyle Shanahan's mind and what's going on with the game. We talked a lot about Sean McVay and gave him credit for doing all that.
Yeah.
Kyle's in the same category.
It's the same thing I used to do when I used to get held by the lineman. I get held a couple times and I go to the ref. Hey, watch this. I'm about to do this. He's going to hold me. I go and run my move, and the guys hold it.
Dang,
and the ref throws a flag. I mean, it works. It happens.
Sean never held, by the way.
When the mitts are in here, it's clutching. It's not holding. It's only holding out there. You get them in tight. They can't call you for that. But they complained every game, every play, literally.
Sean Yeah, okay. So
Come on, you gotta pick a
this is
side.
obviously going to be a great coaching matchup in the Super Bowl that we're very much looking forward to. We know all about your holding from that very famous play that won the Giants a Super Bowl, one of Eli Manning's signature plays.
At least I was blocking. Chris Nee blocked nobody on that play. Thanks for the help, bro.
That's a true story. You pointed that out to me. You'll never see the play the same way again. Watch it. Trust me. Eli Manning retiring today, or their Giants announced that he will announce his retirement. They're going to let him actually say the words officially Friday at a press conference that I assume you'll attend. Will you be there?
Yeah, I'll be there. I think there will be a lot of guys coming out to support him for that. It's a tough moment, and we know that lip's going to quiver. We've seen it before.
Well, we cried at Tom Coughlin's retirement at the time.
It's going to be a big moment. Obviously for Eli has never ever made anything about him. And even in this, I think that's probably what he's most uncomfortable about, is that it's going to be about him. He's always made it about other players and the team. But I think it's just going to be a great moment for everybody to thank him and thank him for everything he's done, both on and off the field. He's a winner. I mean, it's funny when I think back to when he came in as a rookie. Look, none of us knew what to expect from him, and obviously with Peyton being your older brother and Archie being your dad, but to have plays like that throw to Manningham, the play to Tyree, I knew Eli was going to be special his second year in the league. It was week 7. We're playing the Denver Broncos. There's 10 seconds left to go in the game. He had marched us down the field. And as a player, you talked about being clutch. You always want to know if a player can make a play at the end of the game. He throws a touchdown pass to Amani Toomer. Michael Strahan was the first guy on the field, and he hugged Eli, and he said, "I've been waiting for you."
Oh, wow.
Somebody to win the game.
That's
Eli
awesome.
did that for everybody.
He sure did. And when was the last time he changed your phone to a different language?
Just last week. Son of a gun. Don't ever show a picture of him and let him have control of your phone. It will be in Oriental. It will be in Mandarin.
That is 100%
and he will move
not a
the
thing.
settings app to the last page, so you can't even find it. Next level.
Yes. Sean O'Hara, Eli Manning, what a great career.